here I am. This is going to be a reading for Virgo people. This is going to be a general reading for October 2019. I got sick of doing love readings. So I'm just going to keep things simple this month and go back to the basics and just promise 12 of them for the month. I actually have a new schedule until mid-November. I had a coworker get a new job, and so I'm going to be here at the shop 6 days a week until mid-November when I finally will get a break. So I'm just working with what I've got. I'm at work right now. We'll see how long I can do this for before someone walks in. So I'm going to do a 6-card general spread for you guys using the Gaian Tarot cards for October. I'm going to do a quick little summary general reading for everyone, and then I'll do a more in-depth reading with, I don't want to show you guys that one, with the Mexican Loteria bingo game cards. I've been studying these secretly. Okay, we'll see what comes out for you guys. This is for Virgo rising, sun, and moon. I hope you guys are well. As always. Okay. Just in case there is buffering and the lighting's kind of strange, it's that time of day. Let's turn this towards the table so you can see what I'm doing. This is for Virgo rising, sun, moon for October 2019. We'll just see what comes out. And this may or may not resonate. That's up to you to tell. Let's see what's going on with Virgo people. What is going on with Virgo people for October? Oh, I don't know why I turned that one up. Nice card, though. Let's see, that's one more. Let me do one more quick shuffle. Okay. Let's see what you got. Who got that there? Somebody else got that there. I think it was Scorpio. Oh, wow. Pretty nice reading, you guys. I mean, we'll see once we start picking clarifiers and go in depth, but as far as the general reading goes, that's pretty good. Your challenge isn't even all that challenging. So here we go. I'm going to show you your 6 cards first, and then I'll do a quick little summary reading on the gist of the month. So you have as your central experience the 6 of fire. Pretty nice, you guys. Your challenge is the 2 of earth. At the root of your being, you have the 7 of earth. Scorpio also got this exact same card in the exact same position. So I don't know if some of you are working with or allied up with Scorpio people. Or maybe there's some Virgo Scorpio people watching, in which case it's a double message. You're coming away from the Magician, or that has recently happened. Your best possible outcome is the Lovers, Major Arcana. And coming up for you in the future, you have the Six of Air. Pretty nice. Okay, so I'm just going to do a quick general reading off of what's here, and then I'll go into a more in-depth version and see what specifics come out. So, as your basic central experience for October, you look pretty good to me. You are experiencing possible success, victory, happiness, feeling like you've accomplished something, feeling honored or valued by others, supporting yourself, just energetically. You've got a lot of courage at this time. You feel very active. You've been possibly doing more than you have, or just getting out there more, feeling more successful, or focusing on having a successful attitude and focusing on the good things and your accomplishments rather than things that aren't working out so much. It looks like something that you have strived for a while now, and now you have accomplished it, and you're feeling pretty proud of yourself, and justly so. And other people are congratulating you as well. Your challenge is the Two of Earth. You may just have a lot going on, or you may have to make some choices or to juggle several different things at once, in which case you're wondering how you can keep on going. Luckily for you, you have the Six of Fire as your main experience, so it seems as though you have a lot of energy right now, which is good because you're going to need it, because your challenge is you've got a lot going on or a lot to take care of. And so it's a good thing you have a lot of energy. You may equally love and need to take care of several situations at once where it's not necessarily possible to pick one over the other or eliminate anything. For some of you, you may need to make a choice where you let something go so that you can really focus on one or a few things rather than a whole bunch of things. Or you may just have your hands full, or you have a lot to keep up with, to take care of, to do. But as far as challenges go, this isn't a huge challenge here. This just looks like a lot of maneuvering and possibly thinking about priorities on which are the most important things to nurture or take care of or do right now. And maybe not eliminate other possibilities, but put them on the back burner for now while they're calm and address the things that need your immediate attention. But it does look like you have a lot going on. At your root, you want to, this is actually your court card. I have a lot of Virgo women in my family, including my daughter and my mom, and all of my matriarchs in my family are Virgos. This reminds me of them. So basically, at your root, you're being yourself. You're being your thoughtful, considerate self that has an attention towards details and what needs to be done now in order to keep on going towards some kind of a future goal or a future outcome that you would like to see happen. You're willing to take the time. You're willing to make the effort. You're willing to do the little things at this time. And also, you may be tuning in with yourself and trusting your own innate groundedness or patience or just logic more than usual at this time. You may be a cool breeze of reason for other people at this time, where when people start to get ungrounded or confused, it's like you're a breath of fresh air that can come into the situation and naturally just calmly ground it, where you have people refocus or situations refocus on what actually needs to be done right now and just doing it. You want to be able to continue to care for things where you are not overloaded, stressed out, or overly feeling complicated. When you start to feel overwhelmed or there's just too much, go have some quiet time or go someplace peaceful or surround yourself with peacefulness, and you'll get back in tune with yourself with your priorities and what you actually need to focus on at this time. But it seems as though you're being very careful, as usual. Or you feel strong in yourself. Speaking of, what you're coming away from, or what has recently happened, is it looks as if you have been empowered, or you've been empowering yourself, or you have been feeling empowered. Again, it seems as though you have a lot of energy at this time, or a lot of chi moving through your bodies at this time, where you are centered in yourself and able to do, what am I getting? You feel sure of yourself. You feel sure of yourself, you know who you are, and you feel very capable. And this is some kind of new experience that has come in that's very large for you recently, where you just feel really good. You feel like you can manifest stuff. You can do things. You can focus on what's really important. And this is also possibly a force that you want to be for other people as well, or that you have been for other people. Very encouraging, very uplifting, empowering for other people as well. Your best possible outcome may have something to do with love or partnership or partnering up with someone else. This could have to do with making a major choice in your life that will lead you down a new road or a new experience. Or this could be choosing to take something further or develop something further in the future than you have already. We'll get to it when we get to the specifics. Looks pretty nice to me, though. Looks as if you're very balanced this month. You're very balanced this month. It seems as though there isn't really any doubt about what you feel is right for you and what you need to choose. In the future, peace is achieved, or conflict is resolved. People are working together. You are working. Your brain is working very nicely in a peaceful, positive, it's like you have a really positive outlook in October, where you sense now that things are getting better for you, or just the climate or the energy around you seems to be working better than before, or people are working together really well in the future. If there has been any issues or conflicts or even internal conflict, it looks as if there's some kind of resolution where everyone is happy with it, or everyone is communicating well. It just looks good to me, you guys. There's peace in the future and feeling like you can be yourself and you are understood by others. And possibly teamwork here, or people banding together that have common interests or beliefs. So let's look at the specifics. So there are riddles that go with each of these cards. I'm probably not going to be spouting off all of the riddles just because I want to save time, but some of the riddles don't really look like the image or seem like the image. So with those ones, I may tell you what the riddles are. Okay, let's see about the Six of Fire. Why are you feeling so successful and vibrant these days? What kind of victory or success have you achieved? Tell me more about the Six of Fire. Ooh. Ooh, nice. I just want one more. Okay. All right. So concerning this situation where you feel super positive, held up by others, appreciated by others, you've achieved some kind of success or you're feeling very successful. I'm getting several different things in here. It's funny. I actually love spiders and I get along with spiders. I've always lived with spiders and never harmed a spider ever, except for maybe when I was a kid or something. But the riddle that goes with this is actually kind of negative. It's something like, stomp on it, get her away from me. And so it could be that in some kind of this is one scenario, you guys, that in some kind of group dynamic among friends, among a community, or even a workforce, or whatever it is that you've been combining with other people with, this might have been a situation or a person where possibly you felt threatened or you sensed that something wasn't quite right, or other people have been expecting you to take care of their problems for you. Because in the quote, stomp on it, get her away from me, implies that the person is too scared to deal with the spider themselves. They're expecting someone else to deal with it for them. So for someone or a group of you, you may have been in some kind of group dynamic where somebody was having a problem with someone else, but they expected you to address it for them when it's really their own issue or their own problem. You may have said to this person, you need to deal with your own life, or you need to deal with your own situation. I'm not going to clean up after you. You're going to have to face whatever this is. If you did that, then it looks as if they dealt with it or that got that situation off your back. It may have had nothing to do with you. And now you're feeling free to actually express yourself or just do whatever makes you happy instead of being sucked into situations like that where you feel as though you have to fix things for people. Another situation is that there very well could have been a negative friend or a Debbie Downer or somebody who's toxic in some kind of a group situation. But you didn't necessarily have to do much about it because they got caught. And so this is no longer going on in this situation. And now the group dynamic feels so much healthier and better than before. It just seems as though the currents or the way that things have been, it just kind of naturally eliminated that situation or that person or that vibe. And now you can enjoy the sweetness in life and feel fully satisfied and full of sweetness, where you're feeling very grateful and you're seeing results of all of the love and energy and time and effort you've put into things. For some of you, since I'm a spider lover, I'll interpret this in a different way because look, in the spider card, it is 33. 3 plus 3 is 6. And this is the 6 of fire. So these two are connected. Perhaps you have been the spider. Perhaps you have been maybe misunderstood, or other people have demonized you or criticized you, even though they didn't quite understand you. It could also be saying that you have woven this web. You have woven this success you're experiencing. These things aren't just happening randomly. They're happening because you put your energy into it. And you wove this into being, where you took your own life into your own hands and you decided to create what you wanted. And other people may have not quite understood where you were coming from, but it seems as though they do now. And whatever this is, the riddle that goes with this is he who dies by the mouth. Maybe someone spoke up about something or was a loudmouth or said something that was extremely rude or just made them vulnerable and they got caught by the things that they said. That's for some. But as long as you focus on what's true, things like that will fall away on their own. Either way, it's saying that you deserve this sweetness. Or you wove a web to catch something that brings you sweetness and happiness. Feeling of being satisfied. So, let's look at your challenge, which is the Two of Earth here. What exactly about the Two of Earth is a challenge for them? Why is it a challenge? What exactly about this is a challenge? Whoa, those two came out together. Okay. With the Two of Earth, you have the little devil. And the quote that comes with it is, don't be naughty or the little devil will carry you off. And so it could be that for some of you, your children are acting up. I mean, after all, this is a dad with twins. It may be that there's some impish energy about, where it's a lot for you to handle or to manage at this time. And so your challenge may be how to address this type of impish, mischievous, possibly devious behavior from others or from just a situation in general. It feels like you're trying to straighten something out that has been a little bit too naughty. And you may need to make some kind of a decision about this on how to deal with this or this. It doesn't look hardcore to me between the little devil and these two twins. One's content and one is crying, and the dad is struggle them or deal with everything and grocery shop at the same time. I don't know, maybe some of you have small children that are starting to throw huge tantrums in public places, or you tell them to do something and they do something completely different, and then, or you might be catching your children lying or just doing naughty things. This doesn't have to be children. This could be a partner that's being naughty. This could be situations among people around you. This could be temptation of some kind where you have to choose how you deal with this. Okay, let's see what else is in here. Part of this naughtiness might have to do with drinking, because the riddle that comes with this is the bricklayer drank so much that he was like a giant barrel, or his belly was a barrel. It might be that somebody's been drinking too much, or that someone's been doing something in excess or spending too much money, or I mean, if this was even a work thing, I could use a hypothetical story as in somebody's using petty cash to pay for things like alcohol, extracurricular activities outside of work, or spending it on personal things for themselves. It could be lots of things. If this rings true for you, then you know more than me what the specifics about this is. But it seems as though something has gone to excess here, or it's just too much now. Another one is this one, which is the dandy. Really, you want to be footloose and fancy free. Or is that how you say it? Footloose and fancy free? Or to be carefree, to be fun, to be spontaneous, to not have to follow any kind of rules or regulations. It might be that if this is a relationship thing, your partner's been a little bit too naughty or is being a little too flirty with other people, or there's so many ways that this could be interpreted. But it could be that sometimes this gentleman becomes the little devil. Maybe when they drink too much, maybe they're perfectly fine until they start drinking, and then all of a sudden they turn into the little devil. There's some kind of, what's that, a thing? It's Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, or is it the opposite? Something like that. A two-faced person, or a person that shows two different temperaments. But something about this is really naughty and impish, but it's not dangerous. I'm not getting that this is dangerous. I'm getting more that this is incredibly irritating to you, because you're trying to juggle all of these things and everything. Meanwhile, somebody around you or a situation around you is not taking responsibility for things and is possibly behaving like a child, or just is doing something excess, possibly spending too much of your money or something. But up here is the harp, which the riddle is something like, my mother's old harp is in the attic and can't be used, or it's broken, or it needs repairs. So something about this situation needs to be repaired so that it can be in working condition again. It may also be saying that something has become outdated, and if this situation can't be resolved, you may need to think about letting go of the things that no longer work. Okay. Or how to repair it. Either that or letting it go so it doesn't sit in the attic. Okay, so tell me more about this Seven of Earth at their core. Tell me more about this. Ooh, I just got some really fun visuals from that. Okay, I got two different things with this. At your root, this is your, I keep on saying that this is your card, but it's not a court card, but it reminds me of you. So this is you taking care of things, caring for things, doing what needs to be done. And with it, I got the mermaid, and I got a sudden flash of specifics that felt amazing, where you're possibly working on something that inspires you. And I got something about maybe writing fairy tales or writing short stories, or creating something to do with history or with mythology or with the imagination. You're doing something imaginative and something that's also structured, whether it's combining folk stories together into a book, or creating some kind of a sanctuary where people can let their imaginations run wild, or maybe even some, I don't know why I got writing from this, but maybe even something like teaching creative writing to people, or inspiring people to go towards their dreams. If you do this, you are fully inspired with this process, and it's going to have a really good result. Even just for the result of being inspired, it just seems like you're fired up doing something that you really care about. Maybe something environmental, maybe something that would awaken people's imaginations, and a spark of magic that uplifts other people or uplifts you, and you feel like you're doing something meaningful and very deep that goes deep for you. Also, this has another meaning, which is don't fall for it, or by all means, be inspired, be enchanted, but also don't drown. Or don't listen to the songs of the siren, otherwise it might be your undoing. With this, the riddle is something like, there was two riddles that went with it. One was, he who leaps over rocks, and the other quote is, the deer is blind or doesn't see it coming. So because you guys are Virgos, I would just say keep your eyes open, but this may be something around you that's happening, where somebody has gotten too foolish or somebody has gotten too swept up with their dreams to the point where they may be blind to dangers that are around them, or that you can escape, because remember, he's the stag that jumps up rocks or jumps off of cliffs. And this might be escaping some kind of spell or illusion that has sucked you in, where it's important for you to be inspired and go with the depths of your imagination, but also to remain grounded. She looks very grounded here. You seem really grounded to me, so this doesn't seem like a threat. But you may be advising someone else to be careful, or to have their get grounded again, so that they don't aren't blind to some kind of illusion or danger where they end up feeling disillusioned. But also, you can escape anything that you sense actually is a threat. With this is the magician. This is the musician, and his riddle is, he's all set to play. He promised to play, but then he didn't and changed his mind. So there might be some false promises here that you are either just going on around you and affecting people around you, or is somehow affecting you, where it's important for you to go with your imagination and be inspired, but also make sure that any promises you say to other people you can keep, or to, if you sense this around you, that promises are being said to you that they don't plan on keeping, or that they might back out of at the last minute, don't fall for it, or don't let it get to you too much. Instead, you may find yourself possibly cleaning up after other people, but I'm not really getting that. I'm more getting that you put a blind eye to all that drama, and you're just focusing on what's important to you and on what needs to be done at this time that's practical. And also realizing that you can let all that stuff roll off and it doesn't have to affect you at all. So let's look at the magician in your recent past. Ignoring it, that's what I got. You're ignoring it and instead focusing on what you really care about. Ah, look at that. You guys are the first ones to get that card. Okay, let me do one more shuffle. else? Didn't this come out earlier? I just had Neptune transit into my third house, and boy, am I feeling it. Sometimes I just get so intellectually confused, or usually my memory is excellent, but my memories are starting to blur together, where the boundaries for me are starting to get blurred. But you guys can probably backtrack if you don't remember what I said earlier anyway, and make that connection of whatever that connection is. So with the Magician, you have the Apache, and the Mexican bingo games, or Loteria, is interesting because they have some images and words in them that other people could consider offensive. There's the black guy, or El Negrito, or the little black person, or dark skinned person, and then there's the Apache. There's also El Catrine, which also means the dandy. I suppose this could be a homophobic sort of thing, but I don't read them that way because I've been able to work with the riddles with them. So with this, the quote, which I had to spend days trying to figure out how to interpret this. The quote with it is, "Oh my, how many thugs are running around in sandals and pants." And I mean, I suppose some people could read that as that is the Apache, but look, is the Apache wearing pants? No, he's not. He's wearing what looks like something made out of feathers. Those aren't pants. He is wearing sandals. So instead, I interpreted it as that is what the Apache is saying. The Apache is looking around and saying, oh my, look at all the thugs running around in pants and sandals. So in a way, I could interpret that as the Apache is saying, you think I'm weird? I think you are weirder. You think I'm savage? I actually think that you are savage. And it can be about being discriminated against or being prejudiced, but really this is actually reminding me of the Magician. They're both in touch with their wild nature. They're both in touch with themselves in their natural state. They may look at this type of thing and say, wow, you know, he seems like a gentleman, or he seems good, but maybe he's a savage. Maybe he's a bad person, or maybe things are not really easily labeled or understood. This came out earlier in this very same reading, and I forget what it had to do with, if this had to do with somebody that was interfering or what. But there's something about this. It could be saying that instead you have been recently empowered because you no longer care what other people think of you. Between both of these, you know, this is footloose, fancy free. It's interesting how dandy can be a homophobic sort of thing, or related to gay people. But if you think about the word gay, being gay means being happy, right? Gaiety, being happy, being carefree, being free to be who you are, regardless of what other people think. Same thing with this one. And also, you may have been afraid of other people not understanding you or not seeing you for who you are, but it seems as though you reached a point where you really just don't give a crap anymore what other people think, and you know who you are. And so, hence the empowerment. You may have actually met someone who is like this as well, who has reinforced this for you, or has inspired you to be the same. And looks can be deceiving. So, in how we label each other anyway. So your best possible outcome is the Lovers. Let's see what's going on with that. What's going on with the Lovers? Ooh. Why is that there? Okay, I'm going to put that one back. Sorry, I rarely do that, but I'm just not feeling that one. Let me try again. Okay. So with the Lovers, which is a major choice, and also union, you have the Pair, which says you need to act now, otherwise you will be sorry later. If you wait, you may miss this opportunity. You need to seize it now. And so this may be making a decision about a relationship, or expressing to someone else that you want a relationship, or you already have a relationship, but something needs to be seized now before it's too late. With the Pair, it says, he who waits despairs. So if you feel strongly about someone, you need to say something. You need to snatch that up. And it seems as though either somebody really wants you, or you really want somebody. And to also take care of each other. Or if you have no one, if you want this, it seems as though there is somebody around that you want. And you need to seize the opportunity and say something or decide something. If I didn't read this into relationships, this could be anything that you want. A job that you want, a situation that you want, a home that you want, a way of life that you want. An opportunity is there for the picking. And you need to seize it now and make the choice so that you can move forward towards what you want, or to seize what you want. I'm getting that you can't hesitate with this. This is your best possible outcome, is to take action, or to decide to pick it while it's ripe. This could even be something that you would love to possess. Maybe a valuable antique that you've had your eyes on for forever, and you want to snatch that up and buy it before someone else does. This could be anything. You'll know more than me. So let's look at your future, which is the Six of Air. And see what we can get. This may be choosing between two people for some of you. In which case, one of them is a heck of a lot healthier than the other one. Okay, tell me more about the Six of Air. Ooh. You may be going to a body of water in the future, whether it's the ocean or a pond or a lake. Somebody else, was it Aquarius or Pisces? Maybe it was Pisces got this exact combination. You have the Six of Air, which is finding kindred spirits that you can relate to, feeling harmony surrounding you. Any conflicts that have gone on in the past are able to be resolved, and peace is able to come into being. Your mind feels very clear and balanced in the future. Also, to go to the water often, go to the water often, to serve others through wanting to serve others because it brings you joy to be able to do so, but also to fill up other people's empty cups and to have your own empty cup be filled with emotion, sensitivity, empathy, compassion, reflection, healing, all things associated with water. And with sharing, because a jug carries a lot of water that you can fill a lot of cups up with. So it seems as though you have found a group, or you feel like you belong, and everyone fills up each other's cups for them, or helps each other feel better, or to feel nourished or quenched. This may also be saying that you need to go to the water, or you need more water. You need to drink more water. You need to go to water. That there's deep emotions here, that you feel fulfilled, that you feel quenched. And with it, you have the watermelon, which is, again, feeling fulfilled, feeling satiated, feeling full of sweetness, enjoying the good things in life, having what you need, feeling pleasantly content. Looks pretty nice, you guys. You may be able to have some kind of a reconciliation, not as in some ex that comes back and wants to get back together with you, but just if you've had quarrels, if you've had misunderstandings, and this doesn't even have to do with love, it could be any kind of alliance or connection. There are a lot of people in this reading that things can be worked out and peace can be restored and deep emotion and sweetness restored. Okay. I wish you guys all the best. Many blessings, and I'll see you soon.